Greetings. Who are we? Who are you? Who is the I that you speak of? When you think your thoughts, are you the one thinking them or are you the one that's listening? The personality is a crazy thing. My thoughts and my experience is that the personality is not real. The self is not real. What do I mean by that? Your personality is nothing more than a chemical reaction to stimuli that's outside of yourself. Our personalities are based on our situation. I mean, think about it. Who are you when you go to work? You know, think about how you act when you're in a situation with your parents. Think of how you act when you're trying to impress somebody from the opposite sex. Who are you when you deal with children? Who are you when you go to church? Who are you when you're in the drive-thru? You know, who are you when you're dealing with the waitress that you tip or don't tip? You're a different person in all these situations. You know, from the job to home to family to school, you're a different person, and you adjust depending on the circumstance. So which one is the real you? Which one is the real you? We respond to the energies of others. Self is an illusion. There isn't a constant to grab hold of and to say, this is me, this defines me. So why is this important? Dealing with a magical mindset, dealing with the mindset to create the reality that you want with your thoughts. Well, to get into the driver's seat, one of the first things that you have to do is to dispel all illusion. To sit there and take a good account of your life and realize what things you're holding on to that are false or that don't have any substance, like your personality. You who seek to understand, you are a divine mind. You are a living God. Everything you do is perfect. You have to start thinking in human thoughts, not human thoughts, not thoughts based on reactions of the five senses, but thoughts from a divine mind that is perfect in its ways. A divine mind does not hold on to a singular personality. That's insanity. To try to be the same person in every situation. Now, we're not talking about crazy shit. Let's be real. I'm not saying, you know, you're not who you are and you don't have integrity and you don't have values and that type of thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about social mores. I'm talking about social things, dealing with other humans and other dead people, other zombies. That's just an apparatus to get through the day. That's not who you are. So let's recognize that. And let's move forward. You're a divine presence. You're a conductor of energies. You move the flow. You move the vibration. You make things happen. You prevent things from happening. This is something higher than a personality. This is something higher than the 12 zodiac. Your birth sign. This is bigger than that. Just because you're born a Pisces doesn't mean you stay a Pisces. That's what you were born into. It's like where you grow up. If you're born into the ghetto, that doesn't mean you have to stay there. If you're born to a middle class family or a wealthy family, it doesn't mean you're going to stay there. But that's where you start the game out. Like in the game Sorry, you start on one of the four corners of the board, but you're going to end up somewhere else. Awareness is key. Awareness really is the whole purpose of the meditation. When you silence the distractions and you focus on yourself, your being, you focus on awareness in the moment, right now, what's going on. What is my body feeling? What thoughts are running through my mind? And here's another concept, man. A lot of thoughts, most thoughts, aren't even generated by you. Thoughts are floating around in the air, and most of us are just sponges walking around picking up these random thoughts. And another thing you've got to understand, dealing with that very same thing, when you're speaking with the spirits, they're not going to talk to you in a voice like I'm talking to you right now. Okay, they communicate vibrationally because they are vibrational beings. Now this is conceptual. This is something you kind of have to wrap your intuitive mind around. They're not going to speak in words. They're going to speak in vibrations. So what that means is, when you begin to pick it up with those extrasensory perceptions that I spoke about in earlier videos, when you begin to listen and you pick up the vibrations that they're sending you, your mind, your subconscious mind, begins to translate them into a language you understand. That's why in different cultures, the gods have the same attributes, but their personalities are slightly different. You know, the god of war in one country, in another country, you know, they're still iron, their color is still red, their planet is still Mars, but they behave just a little bit differently to fit the demographic. That's because when that vibration hits your mind, you translate it into something that you understand. So this goes with the thoughts that are bouncing around. You know, there are this place is filled with sexual thoughts. That's why, I mean, it's with rampant porn and the crazy tactics in advertising, you can't help but pick up these thoughts. But they're not yours. They don't belong to you. You sit back and you watch them and you let them pass. As easy as they come, they easily go. Now if you want to hold on to them, they will stay there and they will grow. And you will receive more of those transmissions in a stronger form. Even your body sends transmissions to you when you're hungry. But that can be induced as well. The point I'm trying to make is, these things are not you. These things are a part of the existence, part of the fabric that you float through. You're not here. You are not your body. You're not your mind. You're not your eyes. You are a separate entity. You are something that is not. You are the elder gods, dead but dreaming. And you're watching and you're waiting for your time. This human body is an illusion. Those thoughts are not real. The personality does not exist. It's a phantom, a mystery, and a ghost. It's a myth. And like I said earlier, it's an apparatus to get through the day. So really take a hold of what I just stated about the spirit speaking with you energetically. You've got to have confidence in your work. When you're channeling, when you're communicating with a spirit, you got to trust that you're receiving the message. Don't doubt yourself, because doubt is like inverse belief. You've got to have a high intensity of belief to make these things happen. Belief and confidence, faith, if you will. Doubt is the inverse quality of that. Same thing. It's backwards. Your doubt is like reverse belief. It's conceptual. So what that means, when I say conceptual, it means like I'm not going to give you a literal definition, but these things have to be grasped with your symbolic mind. Because the territory that we're delving into is symbolic. The subconscious mind speaks through symbols. It doesn't speak through dictionary terms. This Western world that we live in, this Western civilization, it has to classify and categorize everything. And when you do that, you really begin to kill the creative spirit. When everything is labeled and documented, you see how this world is. It's like, you know, take black music for example. When jazz comes out, it's wild, it's chaos, it's crazy. But as the years go on, Western civilization begins to categorize it, break it down, make it into a class that can be taught at a university. After all said and done, it's dead. It doesn't have that spice anymore. When you can track it and write a recipe for it and make a formula that you can follow exactly, it's no longer alive. It's dead. Chaos is killed by order. When it can be packaged up and produced and sold in mass, it's dead. Everything great, once they get a hold of it and they begin to package it and sell it, it's dead. That's why a lot of people, get upset whenever a popular trend becomes popular, because those of us who were doing it beforehand, we had the realness of it. We had the truth. We had the real spirit of it. But once it becomes nationwide and mass produced, it's dead. How did I get to that part? Yeah, you're thinking. Yeah, so the world we live in, everything is dead. Everything is literal. Everything is logical. And this type of thinking is not conducive for magic. You really have to transmute everything, all of your processes, into an intuitive and symbolic way. That's why you have correspondences. Books like this one, Godwin's Kabbalistic Encyclopedia. Correspondences, or even Crowley's 777. These books are correspondences, and they attach different symbols to different definitions. This is how you interpret your dreams, and this is how you communicate with your subconscious mind. This is how you program yourself, with symbols, not with literal words and definitions, but with symbols. Symbols attached to emotions. These are the things that are going to move your subconscious mind in the direction that you want it to go in. So when the spirits talk to you, they communicate vibrationally through symbols. That's why tarot works. When you do tarot card readings, the energies around you are communicating through the symbols of those cards. And you, knowing how to interpret symbols and how to read symbols, that's how you begin to have an accurate tarot reading. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. There is nothing solid and concrete about this place at all. It's all illusion. The sooner you really begin to grasp that, the sooner you're able to manipulate it. The more access to the subconscious mind, the more power that you have access to, the more power that you wield. And there is a war going on right now, and it's not going to take place in the physical, it takes place in the astral realm. And for you to take part, you need to understand astral dynamics. More importantly, you need to understand how the subconscious mind works. Adios.